All right, start it up.
Cheers. Welcome to Monroe County's finest. I'm Nate.
And I'm Mike. And if you haven't noticed, we're in a different atmosphere today, different garage. We will be putting the Claws project on hold temporarily. We wanted to get this video out.
Definitely. So the reason why we're doing that is also because we have a friend and a vehicle that he's going to be bringing with when we go on to the Bloomsburg truck show, the Wheel Jamboree, is that?
That's what it is, yep.
And we wanted to show off his truck and have him have the opportunity to give a little backstory of the truck and when we go to the show.
Yes, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very special guest and one of my very good friends since high school, Ricky.
Heard you guys like some beer.
Well,
yes, we do.
That is totally correct.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All the introductions out of the way. Ricky, why don't you tell us about this pretty sweet little 4x4 you got here?
Well, I saved it from a junkyard actually. Our good friend had it built. His name was Ian. He had it built many years ago. I couldn't tell you when actually. 2005?
I think 7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8.
It's been a while.
He had it built by originally EMS. He had a straight axle put under it. It was definitely a totally different rig than what it is now, but for the most part, it's kind of the same way it was. He was going to scrap it, and I bought it in literal pieces. Just a frame, a body that I sat on 55-gallon drums. Didn't have axles, no motor. No tranny, no nothing.
So basically just a body in a cage.
Just a shell and a frame.
Yep.
That's it.
So what made you want to kind of rebuild it, put it back together and stuff like that?
Well, we had a lot of good memories in it before, and when he was going to scrap it, I was like, oh man, I can't see it go. So he gave me a sweet deal on it, and basically, I don't know, it was a good project to work on.
Little project to just have fun with.
I always love going off-road.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And definitely you were right on with the memories. Definitely a nostalgic thing. So why don't you tell us about what's under the hood?
All right. Well, currently, you want to open it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Currently, it's just a small block, 350, nothing special. It's got a 700R Ford Trans. Again, just a plain Chevy build. It is kind of unique because it's in such a small little vehicle.
Yeah. It really is. Yeah.
He originally cut the subframe in the front here, the core support I should say, and I put the electric fans on the front and stuff like that. And then for running gear, it's just half-ton Chevy axles with 38-inch tires.
Now you're not going to run these in the woods. You're gonna do.
I currently run it on 35s. We do have 38s on it now. Might fit them for the woods, but for now,
Probably
35.
Yeah. So when he's parked next to me, he wants to make sure he's got a 38-inch tire next to my S10 when we're at the Bloomsburg.
Well, yeah, I can't have you be the biggest.
Oh, of course. No, I get that. That's fair.
A little competition.
A little bit. No, it's all good. It's all good. So I see that this thing has a pretty cool roll cage. Why don't you tell us how the roll cage was built and how the body and the floor are mounted together and all that stuff?
Well, the roll cage was actually done by EMS when they originally built it. It is actually welded into the floor and bolted into the floor, and then I connected it to the frame. I actually hard mounted the mounts. It's just solid right to the frame,
Right.
to make it a little more rigid in case I need to use it, but hopefully I don't.
Yeah. So you haven't noticed it ride like absolute crap when you were in the trail with it at all, or?
Oh no, it's very flexible. Got Wagoneer front springs on it, and I'm not sure. Those are actually the original ones from Ian in the back.
I think he put Old Man Emu springs in it.
I thought so too, but I'd have to ask him.
Yeah, I don't.
It's got a 6-inch shackle
Yeah.
for a lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about the interior? How's the interior look?
The interior is amazing yet for a 94.
Actually, it really is. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because when you look at a vehicle like this, you don't really see many of them, and you don't want to like pussyfoot around in the trail, but you also want to go balls to the wall, and you know.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you say?
I was gonna say I wish the cage was outside, an exo cage, but I hate the damagers. They're so nice.
I know it's true, but exo cages look stupid. So I'm glad that
I don't baby it at all. But.
That's good. That's good. And why don't you tell us where the name Experiment 626 came from?
Experiment 626. The wife gave it that name.
Fitting.
It is very fitting because it's so many different things put together. The motor's out of one truck, the rears are out of another truck. Obviously, it's a Isuzu, basically on a Chevy platform. Everything is just a mix match, and she loves Lilo and Stitch, so
Perfect.
hence the name.
Absolutely. See that, Nate? GM all the way.
Wow. All right, now that we're at the back of the Amigo, you want to go and tell us a little bit about the tire rack here? This is not stock, I assume.
Not at all. Actually, Ian had built this, or me and him built this years ago. The bumper is just a plate steel 4x2, I believe it is. And we bolted it into the frame, inlaid the lights. They're actually backup lights. The tire rack he built from parts, I believe he got them from Tractor Supply, and built. It's just a T-handle on screws. It opens up, and the tailgate opens. Now his original idea was when he has the top on, the top opens, and he was gonna build like a tent thing, so he could like camp out behind it when we were off-roading and shit. But
Yeah.
I never got there, so it is what it is at this point. But the tire rack's pretty cool. It holds, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it holds a high lift jack here and an extra gas can here. An Army style gas can goes over here.
It's functional.
Yeah, it's all functional.
It's all functional.
That's actually a pretty cool setup. So what are you using axle wise?
The rear axle is just a 10 bolt. The front axle is a Dana 44. Just stock gearing, but it's got a crossover high steer on the front. All custom for the 44 flat top knuckles. So.
Nice. Has any of it given you any issues at all?
No, I'm actually using a stock drag link from a 10 bolt that I custom cut and put it in, and no fancy links or anything.
That's awesome.
I beat the crap out of it. So far it's holding together.
Hey, functionality is functionality.
Yeah. And what about, you got a transfer case, right?
Oh yeah,
This is all-wheel drive?
just a 205 transfer case on the back of the 700R4. Honestly, it's been rebuilt, but I still got the slip yoke. When Ian ran it, he had a slip yoke eliminator, and the drive shaft had a slip in it. I'm actually running an S10 drive shaft that's been shortened.
You're welcome.
And I'm using Off on Bikes S10 when it was still stock.
I had to throw that in there. Sorry.
And I'm not. I've been having U-joint issues, and it could be part of that, but we're still playing with it. We'll see what happens.
That's cool. And then the last thing that I think is pretty important is steering. How are you getting around?
It now that the 38s are on it, I probably should get a better pump or something. But it does squeal every so often. The 35s, it runs fine. The crossover high steer, it doesn't have any issues. It could be on any kind of rock or anything. It steers. It's just a stock. Actually, it's a Astrovan box.
Oh, nice, nice.
I know about them, a thing or two.
Yeah. Mike has one, right? On his,
Yeah, I've got
your
one on the
S10?
Mhm.
Nice.
All right, well, this video will be coming to a close, but before that, I would like to ask, what are your future plans with this Experiment 626? What do you want, what would you like to see done with it? Would you like to see bigger tires, more lift, winch, bigger axles? What would you like to see with it?
Yes, I would eventually like to go 8 lug.
Okay.
If I break the 6 lugs enough, which I haven't yet.
Which you will soon.
And I've beaten it up pretty good.
I got to give it credit, yes.
All right. Other than that, I just want to get the winch on it, and maybe a different motor because it's kind of tired.
Are we thinking just a healthier 350 or maybe,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
LS?
Nah, we're not gonna go LS. We'll probably just stay with a small block,
Okay.
easy,
Yep.
carbureted,
Yep.
That's not bad.
simple,
Bolt right in. Right.
bolt right in.
Yep.
Would like to go LS, but I don't need the power. It does what
Does what
everything
you
I want to
need.
do.
Right. Does what you
So,
need. Okay.
other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe different springs in the future, but other than that, pretty good.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
This is not going to be the last time you see Experiment 626 on this channel. We are going to be going mudding eventually. That'll be in the future. And we also have future projects that Rick will be helping us out with, and we'll be helping him out with future projects. So he's also not going to be the last time you see him on this channel. Other than that,
I do have a question.
what's that?
If we do have a poll, what would, and I know I shouldn't have said this, and I know I said I wasn't gonna, but I'd like a poll. What would you rather drive? Would you rather drive Experiment 626 or would you rather drive Sandrock? Which one would be more capable? Which one would last longer? Which one would perform better? Sandrock.
Wow.
We leave that to you. Why don't you send us, a couple comments in down below.
I just want to know which one has a better nickname.
Experiment 626 or Sandrock?
Yeah.
Sandrock.
I don't know.
It is an F and Amigo, so
That's true.
It's pretty cool.
It is true. There's a lot of good memories with this thing.
Yeah.
There really is. But
and we'll make more.
absolutely. But I think, without further ado,
This is Monroe County's finest. I'm Nate.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Rick.
Thanks for
Cheers.
watching. Cheers.
Cheers.